Here we go again. This is my third attempt, but as promised, I'm gonna try and do this 3 times a week. I was aiming for every day because I have so much to talk about, so many things, so many different situations. But we're gonna talk about a lot of things. Some things that people would say is better left unsaid, or they just don't want to say it because they don't know how other people will feel, or people are just afraid to say shit. I'm not afraid to say nothing. We're going to talk a lot about me, my personal situations, my personal feelings, my personal thoughts. Because if I expect y'all to keep it real, I have to at all times. The worst thing I think we can do is lie to ourselves. Can lie to anybody, which is not cool. You shouldn't lie to nobody. You should tell them exactly how you feel. But lying to ourselves creates a web of deception. You slide down a slippery slope because even then you don't know what to believe. So we're going to talk a lot about everything. I mean everything. But this first situation is going to be about me and my personal highs and lows. It's kind of hard to talk about yourself if you haven't become one with yourself and your faults and the best things about you. And I think most people, I don't want to say everybody, but most people have things they don't like about themselves. It can change from day to day, you know? One second, let me get the puppy from outside. Excuse me. It's so cool. I can just open a door and he goes outside and does his thing and comes back when he's ready to come back in the house. But me personally, I've been on both sides. I've even been in the gray area. There's not a lot of situations where there's a gray area, but people try to make it a gray area. Let's make that clear. I'm not perfect. Haven't always been the person I am today. Haven't always been the friend or the father I am today. I've always been a good father, but I had to grow up and learn some things, like we all do. I was a thought ass nigga, like straight thought ass nigga. I'm the only child, grew up in a household where there was tough love and grew up around my uncles who were in the streets. So obviously I took notice and that's kind of what I wanted to do. But neither here nor there. I was a straight thought slut hoe ass nigga. I would justify that for years with, before I became that person, I was madly in love with a female. I think I was around 15 and a half, 16. I knew what love was at that time. Long story short, she got pregnant. It wasn't mine. I didn't trust a female after that. So becoming Jersey, Brick City, my music world, that's kind of where I completely was losing myself because I couldn't separate the two. You know, Jameer, Jersey, Brick City. Everybody likes Jersey, Brick City. Nobody really knows Jameer. Nobody really cares about Jameer, but everybody's rocking with Jersey, Brick City. So naturally, I'm vibing with Jersey, Brick City more, but he's getting me in trouble. Getting me in trouble. I was a cheater. I lied. Um, I wasn't no grimy, still shit ass nigga, no robber, like none of that shit. You know what I mean? Like, but I had a heart. I had a heart of gold. But at the same time, I didn't love me. So with that base right there, me not loving me and still trying to tap into the feelings I know I had, it was a scary situation because I would always kind of hurt before I would get hurt. Not really intentionally, but it happened, and I have to be a man about it and take responsibility for the things that I've done. You know, the paths that I set, the females that I've hurt, and I've dealt with a whole lot of that karma for my past actions. You know, it was nobody else's fault of the things that I did and was doing. You know, to my kids' mothers, and and it's so funny. I have great relationships with all my kids' mothers except for the one that's an incubator and my last kid's mom. Not even gonna call her baby mama because it's whatever. I'm willing to still speak grown folk music when others don't want to speak it. You know, I've dealt with a lot of situations, like I said, on both sides because I've been on both sides. I've been the cheater. I've gotten cheated on. Um, Mainly because I gravitated towards the wrong female. Always wanted the female, you know, everybody couldn't have type situation. I mean, I still kind of want the female everybody can't have because that's priceless. But there's different levels of that female everybody can't have, that everybody can't have, but everybody has had female. Because then later on you find out, like, oh, she done fuck Tom, Dick, and Harry. Little slore. But then you have that everybody can't have sophisticated on her grown woman shit female. Big difference. So for me, I've gone through so many of the stages and I've done so much that it's hard to trust. Like listen, I've had sex with so many married women and women in relationships, like some movie shit where the phone rings and you can see the picture pop up and I'm like, yo, you gonna answer that? No, he can wait. Damn, you grimy. You fucking females really are grimy, but y'all get away with it. Y'all get away with it. Whatever. Um, so it put me at odds with a lot of things. It's like I'm not afraid of commitment. Not at all. As I've grown and have grown up, the maturity level is ridiculous, but you know how you still have a lot of those people from your past that still hover around and all they can kind of see is the old you. I'm currently trying to distance myself away from all those people because I don't need you looking at me one day like, oh, I'm proud of you. Then the next day it's like, but the past you is people change. See, the weather changes all the time. People change. Most people don't. I'm not mad at you for feeling the way you feel. But for me, in my new stages of life, I have to separate myself from you and your old feelings because I don't need none of that energy. I vibe off of energy. I vibe off of action. You can tell me all the prettiest things in the world until you're blue in the face. If your actions say otherwise, I'm not beat and I'm gonna call you on your shit. Lots of people don't like to be called on their shit, especially if they're on some bullshit with ulterior motives. So, I set myself to a standard, not a higher standard than people. I'm not better than nobody, but I set myself to a standard. Just like I tell my kids, treat people like you want to be treated. I have bad days, I have good days. I'm still working on me. I'm a work in progress every day. Every single day. I'm a work in progress. But I'm real about my shit. I'm real about my faults. I'm real about who I am and what I want and how I want it. And that's just me. I'm passionate. Most times I wear my heart on my sleeve and take it or leave it. I don't have many friends, but I know lots of people. A friend to me is a person who actually takes that time. You good? You all right? Everything okay? Not every 6, 7, 6 to a year. You know what I mean? 6 months to a year. Like, no, it doesn't work like that. Like, I could be going things throughout that entire time and you don't even care. Like, I've separated myself from a lot of people because I don't see or feel the same loyalty. Because it has a lot to do with loyalty. Like, if I tell you, yo, I got you, I'm going to be there, like, we this, we that, you best believe I'm at you. I done checked on many a niggas, many a females too, to make sure everything was good, just to make sure everything was good. No ulterior motives. Hey, you having a good day? Like, that's just the type of person I am. Cause I would like it if people did that for me. Like, I don't know. It's a different world we live in. Um, I'm still working on not feeling. How do I word this? I'm still working on not. No, let's just be direct with it. In any type of relationship, friendship, boyfriend, girlfriend, fiance, husband, whatever, it's not your responsibility to make sure the other person is happy. I know a lot of people looking at that like, what? But it's not. I know. First of all, I know who spoke on this first. I think Will Smith spoke on this first at the round table, whatever, with his wife. And It resonated because you shouldn't feel responsible for somebody else's feelings. Like, cool, you feel that way. Okay, we can talk about it, but you're an individual person at the end of the day. I'm an individual person at the end of the day. We come together, but we have to find a balance that whereas though it's not always about you, it's not always about me. That middle ground is where a lot of people can't find it because, oh, you're going through so much on this end and you should listen to everything I'm going through and you're supposed to support blah blah blah. All good and well, but there needs to be a balance. There has to be a balance. So I'm struggling with the balance because I pushed my shit aside so much that it's like I'm miserable on the inside because nobody really listens. I'm the listener. I'm the listener. So it's like, and I love my space. I don't want to have to feel forced to do something that I don't want to do because I'm a very very simple person. If I'm not at work, if I'm not with the kids, I'm in the house. If there's nothing to do in the house, I'm relaxing. I'm on the game or I'm watching something. I don't have the drive to be like, "Oh, let's go have a drink at a bars." For what? How about we go to the liquor store, come back home in the comforts of our own home? It's good sometimes to get out. Don't get me wrong. It's good sometimes to get out. You don't want to be cooped up in the house all the time. But don't be trying to have me out every other weekend. Like, go somewhere with that. I'm trying to stack bread. I ain't trying to spend money on miscellaneous bullshit that I can get for cheaper. No. So, I'm not a very complex person. I just have common sense and think other people will have common sense also. Not a lot of people have common sense. That shit is hard to find. And it's sad. This generation sucks. On so many different levels, this generation sucks. Um, I recently had a situation, and I thought that situation was going to be, my final situation, and everything was going to be everything. But some things just don't work out the way you want it to. I don't I don't step forward with those backward notions of, oh, what if this one or what if this situation is like the last. You're keeping yourself in that box. You can always protect yourself. I'm telling you not to protect yourself. You can always protect yourself. This shit is so bomb. But there comes a time where People have to stop playing games. So many games that get played, it's ridiculous. People will tell you one thing and then there'll be another. But see, this is why a lot of people go through the things that they go through. This is why it's always karma. Karma don't have favoritism. Excuse me. Karma's coming for you one way or the other. It might not be today, it might not be tomorrow. So stop playing with people. I'm gonna touch more on that basis in the next video, because the next video will be based off relationships and dating. But this video is just a general video, just to, randomly speak on things. I gave you a rough summary of myself because I wanted to start there, because that's fair and that's how it should be. You should know who you're dealing with and who you're talking to. So from my past to now, like, I'm a single dad with full custody of my son, legal joint custody of my daughters, except for my last, because, yeah, another subject. I'll touch on that too in the relationship video. But like I said, I'm gonna give you a lot of personal stuff of my life, because I tell everybody I'm an open book. I don't hide nothing from nobody. I don't care what people feel, how people feel about me, what people think about me. Like, I don't care. None of you pay my bills. None of you take care of my kids. So your opinion really doesn't matter to me. I'm man enough to tell you my faults and then stand on my own too. Like, that's just who I am. I'm a real boring person nowadays, I've come from a fast-paced life, growing up fast, being in the clubs at 14 and 15, and it's like now I don't care about none of that shit. I don't care. Like, I just want peace. Peace. Peace of mind. Peace, mind, body, and soul. Peace. But that shit seems to be so hard to acquire. It's annoying. We all have things that we go through and stress about on a daily basis. We all have things that we wish we could fix, and it'll make everything else better. At least that's what we feel, and that's what we think. We got high hopes of that shit too. I'm not gonna hit you with no gimmicks. I'm gonna keep it 1,000 with you. 1,000. Everything that I'm gonna speak about is true fact. I've been through it. I've seen it. I've lived it. That's just what it is. And I always smoke good. Y'all gonna see that. I wish eventually I'm gonna get this set up to a live situation where we can have people in the comment box, and we can talk about some things, like people ask questions, and we can really get personable. Like, that's my aim for this. That is my aim. I have a lot of things, a lot of positive things, a lot of life things to talk about, a lot of negative things to touch base on, and try and see if there can be a positive to come out of it, because The world we live in today, you don't know what the hell's gonna happen. I ain't even gonna say what's gonna happen tomorrow. You don't even know what's gonna happen 5 minutes from now. That's the type of world we live in today. We got a president that has brung all the racist people out because they never went anywhere. They're still around. He just brung them out. Now they want to try to impeach him for the second time. First time in history that has ever happened. How y'all feel about that? That shit's gonna be crazy. He literally told the people to go to the Capitol building, and pretty much fight for him to, become president. Fight for them to change their votes that was already about to happen. Like, Biden is president. Like, cut it out. It's a wrap. That moon rock hit different. It's like, who cares if you're black? Who cares if you're white? Who cares if you're Hispanic? Who cares if you're Chinese? Like, we're all people at the end of the day. We are all people. Some people got more money than others. Don't make you better than nobody. Some people doing better than others. Don't make you better than nobody. That shit just don't make no sense. But I'm not going to keep y'all long. I hope y'all subscribe and stay tuned because there's going to be more. The next video is going to be on relationships, dating, and children. Should be an interesting one. And I got a lot to say on each and every one of those subjects. So, I hope y'all stay tuned in. Thank you for supporting in advance. And I promise, I will keep the content coming. Signing off.